Hello everyone, Jarrett with PMI Riverside here, and California is known for being one of the most tenant-friendly states in the USA, right? The United States, with a lot of laws and regulations that landlords really must adhere to. One of the worst or the most significant regulations that landlords need to be aware of is the Tenant Protection Act, or the TPA, and this law sucks for a lot of landlords, okay? This law is designed to protect tenants by things like limiting rent increases as well as tightening eviction policies. So the TPA went into effect about January 1st, 2020, and it expires January 1st, 2030. And under the TPA, annual rent increases are capped at 5% plus the local rate of inflation, or 10%, whichever is lower. And what this does is it ensures that landlords can't really impose things like unreasonable rent hikes. Gives tenants a lot more stability, which I do agree with. A lot of people might abuse that power, I'm sure. Additionally, landlords must provide what is known as a just cause for evictions when a tenant has lived in the property for 12 months or more. Just causes include things like non-payment of rent, violating lease terms, or criminal behavior. If a landlord evicts a tenant for a no-fault reason, such as deciding to move into the property themselves, they are often required to provide financial relocation assistance or waive the tenant's last month of rent. Landlords must also be prepared for specific guidelines when choosing not to renew a lease, especially in cases involving no-fault evictions. Okay? Lease renewal decisions are now more regulated under the TPA, which means that you guys really, really need to follow specific legal steps in order to make sure that you guys are compliant. Additionally, landlords are also required to inform tenants of their rights under the TPA, typically through either a written notice or a lease addendum to make sure that they are getting compliance or ensuring compliance. So, how does this affect Riverside landlords? Well, obviously, one of the most significant ways is the rent increase cap, right? And it's really, really, really important now that landlords thoroughly research the market value of their rental property, not only before renting it out, but also during the time of tenancy, right? This is really crucial when it comes to things like raising rent, because landlords have to complete a rental analysis now, and well, they don't have to include it, but I really, really recommend that they include it with any rent increase notice. And another major impact really would be the revised eviction process, right? So the introduction of things like just cause and no cause evictions, the process has become a lot more complicated, and it increases the cost as well as the stress of managing properties, especially when dealing with those difficult tenants. And there is a little good news though. Not all properties fall under the TPA's jurisdiction. So according to the California Association of Realtors, certain housing types are exempt. So these properties are things like if they have been built in the last 15 years, or duplexes where the owner occupies a single unit, and single-family homes owned by individuals or non-corporate entities, provided the tenant is notified of this exemption. So, to stay compliant with the TPA, especially for new landlords, it's really vital to thoroughly research the law and understand the various regulations before making any decisions regarding the property. And this can be really overwhelming, right? Especially if you're a new landlord. And what I would personally recommend is maybe researching a property management company that could help you. That might be a smart choice. Property management companies handle many, many properties subject to the TPA, meaning they are experts in navigating this complex law, right? And honestly, it would not hurt to ask them, just, hey, can I get your advice on this? Or, hey, can you help me out with this? And maybe schedule a consultation. I would be more than happy to do that one for free.